get on, shall we? Cowboys in the Rift Valley. This I've got to see.
There she is. Let's go.
Nothing scurrying around. Fast move in this direction. Those gazelles will spook the whole herd. That Eland doe will be halfway to Kilimanjaro. Would have blown a day's work. Come on, let's sneak around it. Slow. Go.
Cowboys in Africa.
Seeing is believing.
All right, heel him. Heel him. That's it. Hold him tight. Stay with him. Stretch him out.
This one's no good. Go on. Go on. Oh, they've lost it.
No, not at all. They let it go on purpose.
After all that riding and roping?
Jim! John Henry! So you let her go, eh?
Uh-huh.
But she looked fine to me.
Us too. Till we got up close. She looked like a real queen from the distance.
She showed signs of ring bone, Commander.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. But come along, you two. My friend's arrived. I drove him out here especially so that you three should meet. Come along. Jim Sinclair, this is Brian Hilliard.
Hello. The Commander's been talking Brian Hilliard for a long time.
Believe every word he says, Sinclair.
I can't say enough. After all, it was Brian who fished me out of the drink when I dipped off
Commander.
Malta during the
So you said.
war.
Don't come off it, old boy.
Sorry, old chap. I didn't mean to embarrass you.
Oh, John Henry, this is my friend Brian Hilliard.
Oh, the Indian. How?
Yeah. Hush. Well, you got one thing in your favor. Your name ain't Custer.
And you are Samson and Diti, right?
Yes, sir.
Oh, Samson, this is Mr. Hilliard.
Is it true you've been every place in the world?
That about covers it.
You'll tell me about all those places.
I'll make a deal with you. I'll swap you any spot on the earth for a tour of your animal nursery.
You know about my baby?
Sure I do. From your hippo, trash can Annie, to pajama tops, your zebra. The deal?
The deal.
Shake on it. Remember, I want the A tour, Dr. Anditi. Well, what do you think of it, Samson?
I bet it's the fastest car in the world.
Pretty fast. I've done 130 in it.
Wow.
And the accelerator wasn't even near the floorboards.
Someday I'll have a car like this. Won't I, Jim?
Well, I don't know, son.
I bet you will, Samson. As a matter of fact, here's a down payment.
I'm sorry, Mr. Hilliard.
It isn't counterfeit.
It's just that we don't permit the boy to take money unless he earns it. You understand that, don't you?
Yes, of course I understand. Samson, do you understand about the mint bird?
Mint bird? What's that?
It's a bird which carries money from the mint. Sometimes it drops a pound note. And sometimes the pound note falls into a little boy's pocket. Now, how about trying this model on for size?
Come on, Jim. It's Mombasa for us this weekend.
It's John Henry's first vacation this week, so you can understand his enthusiasm.
Let's get airborne, man. There's a little squad down Mombasa way who really digs that Indian love call.
You go ahead. I'll be right with you. Come on, Samson.
Well, Samson, how would you like a road test with me? A sort of trial run before the big race, eh?
Jim, can I go back to the ranch with Mr. Hilliard?
Samson, in this life, never ask, always assume. I presume there are no objections.
Just take it easy, Mr. Hilliard.
I always do.
And one more thing. The commander and I don't want any publicity. Some of the work we're doing is experimental. Too soon to write about it. You understand that, too?
I'm an author, not a reporter. It'll be many months before my book is ready to go to press. That'll give us plenty of time.
It's not much assurance.
Well, if I let the commander look over the material first.
That'll do it fine.
Something bothering your partner?
No. Nothing that a week in Mombasa won't cure.
Samson, get in the back and keep your eyes on the speedometer. Howard, what did you mean when you said just now that the doe eland wasn't good enough for the king?
She wasn't.
What king?
I'll arrange an audience for you, back at the ranch.
Now, Limey's got you upside, huh?
What?
We'll drop Samson off, then I'll show you some of the fights.
Man, if looks could kill.
You're the one who wants to get to Mombasa. Start cranking it.
Would you mind backing up 100 yards or so?
Oh, did you drop something?
Yes. My stomach.
Well, at least you haven't lost all your sense of humor.
No, just my inside.
that chap seems to know you.
Yes, I'm afraid he does. I wouldn't make any sudden moves if I were you, Brown.
Oh. Well, you said we should take this shortcut. You should have told them. I tried barreling through this traffic, except that my insurance policy doesn't cover bent tusks.
Tell me, why can't you be serious just for one moment?
Oh, I don't waste that moment. Nothing doing, my friend. I like living for pleasure. I like living life to the hilt. Not just analyzing it, that's just a sheer waste of time. You take your pleasure where you get it, or else you regret it for the rest of your life. You pays your money and you takes your choice. I say, that chap is getting a little pushy, isn't he? Come on, move, you jaywalkers! Haven't you got any road manners?
Come on, let's head back for the ranch. The boys are leaving soon.
Mombasa, here we come.
Hello, Bullfrog. Hello. If there wasn't more time for you and Jim to get together. I'd really like you two to get on together.
Yes.
Here, George. George. Grab up. Come on. Come on, old fella. There we are.
You really rather enjoy this, don't you, Howard?
Enjoy? Oh, that's hardly the word. It's my life.
Well, I don't envy you.
What?
Well, you know what it's like in fiction? The wanderer always envies the friend who has settled down. But that's only fiction.
Yes, from your viewpoint, but don't knock it until you've tried it.
Well, I'm not knocking it, Howard. But I've been thinking, it's not for me. I have to keep on the go.
Oh, why?
Well, what if something exciting happens and I'm not there?
Oh, yes. It must be harrowing for a man of your adventurous nature. I can't win with you, Brown, can I?
Let's get back to your partner, Howard. I suspect he now knows me as well as he'll ever care to.
Jim? Where'd you ever get that idea from? You mean because of Samson?
Because I interfered.
Oh, nonsense.
Not nonsense. I saw the look in his face. And I was only trying to be nice to the boy.
Yes, of course, and Jim understood, but, well...
Now you're coming to it. The big buts.
Well, Jim's done a fine job with that boy. He's been a touch strict, I dare say, but all for the lad's good.
Well, if you ask me, being spoilt is rather better.
Oh? And who spoiled you?
Me.
Well, he said it. Come on, we got a date with royalty. Just a precaution.
Keep something from getting in?
No, from getting out. Well, there he is, Brown. He's a king indeed, isn't he?
What's all that about?
Oh, he just wants you to believe it, that's all.
Your Majesty, I believe it. I believe it. I wouldn't like to run across him on a dark night on the veldt.
You couldn't. You'd never been on the veldt.
Really? Where did you get him then?
From the University of Nairobi.
The graduate school, I presume.
Well, he could very well be a graduate.
Come again?
Well, he's a product of the University's Department of Animal Husbandry. That eland, Brian, represents 5 generations of scientific laboratory breeding and domestication. Unlike most of his kind, he's 100% disease-free. His conformation is perfect. He's flawless in every respect. One of a kind. And there he is.
Oh, that's why the Cowboys released the doe eland.
Yes, I'm afraid she wasn't quite up to his standard. The poor girl had ring burn. And we simply can't take chances with a $1 million experiment.
$1 million?
Yes, well, that's what he's worth to Kenya. Mind you, our interest in him is not only scientific. You see, my partner and I have insured him for £20,000 because he represents the beginning of our new eland line.
Howard, I'm very impressed. I mean it.
Well, you said your new book was to be the definitive work on the new Africa. Is that a story for you?
It is indeed a whole chapter. Do you mind if I shoot some film on him?
Not at all. But mind you, when the book comes out, make sure that my name is spelled correctly, won't you?
Yes, I'll go and get my camera.
We've arrived. Hey, what's the matter?
Just thinking.
Man, if you're not thinking what I'm thinking, you better see a head shrinker. You still got Hilliard on your mind, huh? Boy, has he got it made.
Yeah.
You check out that sports car, the whole outfit to match. Tailored jacket. Those things on his feet weren't exactly Navajo moccasins. Brian Hilliard. I guess you say that he's a man who's got everything.
I don't know.
You're just bugged because he was nice to Samson.
No, it's not that.
Look, I don't blame you, but...
Like, it wasn't that he was being nice to Samson. He was selling himself to the kid.
So people do that with kids.
Yeah, but not that hard. That sales pitch wasn't just for Samson. And it's strange for a man who's supposed to have everything.
I called you at the Pens the minute the paper arrived. I thought you would be pleased. I did not expect the story in the paper. I was very surprised.
So am I.
Beg your pardon?
Oh, nothing, Carl, nothing. Oh, Carl, Roddy forgot to give the prize Eland his vitamins yesterday. I'd like you to take over the feeding from now on, please.
Yes, sir.
Carl, by the way, where's Samson this morning?
He went to visit some friends of his at the Kasawi village. He said he'd be back in time for lunch.
Oh, good, good.
District Control to Hayes Ranch. Calling Hayes Ranch. Come in, Commander.
XL238, I read you, Control.
Fire alert, Area 6. It looks like a major blaze, fanned by southerly winds. Over.
But Area 6 borders on our grazing land. Over.
Right. And a southerly wind means it's blowing your way. Better send all available help. Over.
It's on its way. Out. Trucks and equipment. Everybody goes. I'll monitor the radio. Carl, you and Haradi take the Jeep. And don't forget the fire extinguishers.
Smudge pot. Smoke but no fire. Carl the Ranch. Carl the Ranch. Come in, Commander. Do you read me? Do you read me?
You know, Brown, you're far too extravagant in every way.
There's only money, old boy.
Yes, and I'm not really all that injured.
I know. What some people won't do to get attention.
Trouble is, I feel such a fool about the whole thing.
Have a little fruit.
No, thank you very much.
Well, you put up a very good fight. You did your best. It is you zigged when you should have zagged.
I'm not talking about that. Not my head that hurts so much as losing that eland.
Well, it's insured, old boy. You
Yes.
said so yourself.
I know, but I can't very well take out insurance on my own pride, my own ego. I feel I've let that eland slip away. Something terribly valuable. It just slipped through my fingers.
Now, look, old boy, for your own sake, don't turn a molehill into a mountain.
It never was a molehill. I feel responsible to my partner, to the university, even to Kenya itself.
Well, perhaps the police can clear it up for you. Do any leads for them to go on?
I'm not calling in the police or the Kenya rifles until it's absolutely hopeless. I'm going to do this thing myself. I've got to find that eland.
Where will you look?
I've no idea. But I know I won't rest until he's back.
My dear fellow, that stiff upper lip of yours is getting stiffer and stiffer.
Believe me, I'm quite serious.
I'm with you.
Are you?
What does that mean?
Brown, I was very surprised to see this. No, not just surprised, shocked. You told me this would be part of your book. That's it there, you see. The whole chapter, you said. Now, you've given it to the Nairobi Times.
Well, you're serious, aren't you?
Yes.
Well, let me dispel any doubts you may have. Let's clear it up once and for all, shall we?
Yes, indeed.
Well, I was having a drink in a bar in Nairobi with the publisher of the Times. And in passing, I mentioned the eland and your marvelous plans. He got terribly excited. He begged me to write it up. Of course, I said no. I was saving it for the book. But he insisted. He said it was a Kenya story, which should be in a Kenyan newspaper. He would have printed it anyway. Well, I wanted to give it the proper treatment, so I wrote it up myself. For your sake as well as mine, old boy. After all, it was purely friendship. I didn't take a brass farthing for it. Not a brass farthing. Absolutely gratis. I'm awfully sorry, Howard, if this has upset you.
I understand that, Brown. But unfortunately, it's just possible that that story may have given someone the idea of taking the eland. Who? I don't know. I couldn't even fathom a guess. I mean, who would have done so? For what reason? How could anyone be so malicious?
Commander.
Yes, what is it? Where'd you get that, Carl?
Noah found it there. It's one of the entrance posts.
Well, it's an eland hide.
There's writing on there, a note.
Yes, there is. We want £10,000. I'll tell you when to pay it. Any nonsense, and you'll get another hide. A genuine article.
Well, at least, Howard, we know what it's all about now.
You knew the signal. You were told to blow your horn 3 times before driving up.
Sorry.
Next time, Hilliard, you won't have a chance to be sorry. I'll have your head blown off.
Oh, so we play rough now, do we?
We're playing according to my rules now.
I thought we were partners.
Only in dividing the money. The rest is strictly according to me. What are you doing out here anyway?
Well, I thought I'd come and have a look at the inventory.
Eric, sounds like our partner doesn't trust us.
Why should he? Come on.
Ah, there's a king's ransom.
Satisfied, eh, Hilliard?
Woman. I am, but he's not. He's used to more comfortable accommodation.
They're bloomin' royal sweet.
You took the words right out of my typewriter. Meanwhile, back at the ranch.
Yeah, they'll get the note this afternoon.
Good. I'm visiting the commander this afternoon.
Why? Why don't you just stay out of it?
Why should he? I'd like to know who's looking for us and where. You just stay close to him.
Delighted.
You really dig this sort of stuff, don't you?
Yes, especially as I have an expensive habit to support.
What's that?
Extravagance.
Cowboy in Africa will continue following station identification.
I didn't call the Kenya Rifles from choice. I radioed you because with a ransom involved, it seemed the right thing to do. But I don't want your men searching for that either.
Why?
Because if the kidnappers realize that you're on the trail, they might conceivably do away with it.
In other words, you want to give in. You'll pay the ransom.
I want that Eland back, alive. I've got an obligation.
You have your obligation, Commander. I have mine.
Yes, but surely you know how these things work.
I certainly do. I know exactly how intimidation, blackmail, extortion, all wrapped up in one ugly word, kidnapping, works. It's working on you, Commander.
Yes, but this is not an ordinary case. We're not talking about a human life. There'd be second thoughts about the taking of the life of a human being. But with an animal, if there's any trouble, there'd be no hesitation in doing away with it. And you know that's true.
What do you want me to do?
I want you to wait until the next note comes.
All right. But play it honest with me, Commander. And the moment it arrives, notify me.
I will, I promise.
What's up? You looked at me just now as if I was poisoned.
I spoke to the editor of the Nairobi Times. He didn't beg you to write that article for him. You peddled it to him. It wasn't gratis, you were paid.
Well, little boy, I needed some ready cash until the draft arrived from my Swiss bank.
Well? You better get your story straight, Brian. You told me your New York bank.
Look, old boy, I understand. I understand perfectly. You're having a rough go of it just now. Well, if it pleases you to tick me off, that's perfectly all right with me. After all, that's what friends are for.
This time, Brian, we're not changing the subject. If you hadn't peddled that article for a bit of extra cash, that eland would still be in its stall.
Look, what's it all about? Why are you getting so riled up? After all, it's only money. It's not even your money. The insurance company is going to pay it off.
Oh, I see. And that's the end of it, eh?
Well, what else is there?
The truth. I know exactly what you've done.
What? What do you mean?
I've known for years, and I've accepted it. Whenever it suited you, you took advantage of me. But I never said a word. I played your game because I owed you my life.
Well, if you're talking about the money I borrowed...
Oh, it's not a quid or two here and there that matters. So will you use people and cash in on relationships? I've seen you do it time and time again. Hotel manager, a shipboard companion, a cocktail waitress. Anybody, anytime it's suited. You pile up bills and debts wherever you go. Expensive clothes you wear, the flashy sports car you drive. Why, there's so many fronts, so many more debts. I know all about you, Brian.
Oh, no, Howard. You may think you do. How could you possibly understand what I am? You, who've always lived safely and easily. So dull.
Coming from a man who only seeks pleasure, that's a pretty smart philosophy until you examine it. But you haven't had pleasure. You've just had the absence of pain. You've got living mixed up with owning and buying and traveling, all to prevent yourself from thinking.
What makes you think you're such an expert about that subject?
Because I have lived your so-called life of pleasure.
You? Oh, no, Howard. Not you.
That's how I met you, in Bombay. After my wife died, I wanted to forget. So I took your course and ran away from life. But I kept on bumping into myself, in the dark at night. And then when I came to Kenya, I allowed myself to feel the pain for the first time. And out of pain came peace and a new life. The anguish of the past had become the tender memory of someone I had loved more deeply than I'd realized. I'll tell you why you can't stand pain. The only thing which makes it bearable is love. And what would you know about that? That's all. I'm finished. Well, all right. You feel better for it? The question is, do you? Samson?
Any news?
No, afraid not. All we can do now is just sit and wait. Hey, what are you doing?
Nothing.
Oh, really? You surprised me. Why aren't you tending to your animals in the nursery?
If you mean feeding them, they already ate.
Oh, I see. Well, now, talking about eating, you didn't seem to eat very much at lunchtime, did you?
No. You didn't have any lunch either.
That's true. I wasn't hungry.
I wasn't either.
I know how you feel, Samson, because I feel just the same. We mustn't give up hope. We'll get our Elin back.
I bet Mr. Hilliard could find him.
No, I'm afraid not.
But you told me there was nothing he couldn't do.
I'm afraid this is one time we can't count on Brian.
Why not?
Well, don't you worry a little head about it.
Samson,
Yes, Mr. Hilliard?
I'm looking for the commander. Did he go in this way?
No, sir.
What have you got there? Oh, it's just a stone.
A very important stone, Mr. Hilliard.
Really?
A wishing stone.
Wishing stone?
Like magic. You rub it and make a wish.
Oh, yes.
It's very old.
Yes. It seems to have been used a lot.
It's one of the best wishing stones ever.
I bet.
It was given to me by my tribe when I first came to live here.
It must be very valuable to you.
So it is. Mr. Hilliard?
Yes, Samson? What is it, son? What?
Take it.
But it's yours.
I want you to have it.
It's very valuable to you, Samson.
That's why I give it to you.
In that case, how can I refuse? Thank you, Samson, very much.
Mr. Hilliard?
Yes, Samson?
The commander is very worried.
Yes, I know.
You'll make sure he gets that eland back, won't you? You can do it.
What do you mean?
Long before you came, the commander told me stories about you. Where you've been, what you did. He said my friend Mr. Brian Hilliard is the smartest man in the world. He said there's nothing he can't do.
Samson, about this stone. You really gave it to me because you wanted me to do something for the commander, didn't you?
Yes.
A gift to get a favor.
Is that wrong?
Well, an hour ago, I would have said it was right. But there's been a change in my thinking. You keep it.
But I want you to have it.
No, you don't. You want me to do something.
And now you won't?
Now I will. Now you tell the commander to sit tight, and I shall have his eland back before dark.
You know where to look?
Yes, Samson. I know exactly where to look.
And you say you saw him drive away, Samson?
Yes, Commander.
Well, in which direction?
Over there.
There's an awful lot of veldt out there. So, very well, but where would one start searching for an eland? Carl, where would you look for a kidnapped eland? Or put it this way, where would you hide such an animal?
I wouldn't know.
You're not much help, are you?
Maybe a manada?
What? What did you say, Samson?
Manada. At a village where my people keep animals to protect them from attack.
That's a very good idea, Samson, a manada.
Commander, there are many villages out there with maniata.
Yes, but only one deserted one. The old one, south of the escarpment. I'm going to get the jeep. I want you to get my rifle in the lead line.
Hey, you know, Mombasa is a great place to live, but I wouldn't want to visit there. Well, a visit's too short. back in the saddle again.
Which means finding a queen for a king.
Queen, king, who cares? I feel like a peasant now.
Meaning Mombasa?
Yeah, what else?
Can't you forget?
There's an elephant?
Neither does a wolf.
What about a Texan?
So you've been out here all night? Samson told you. All right, I wanted to do this myself.
No, you've done quite enough already.
Look, let me explain.
Look, we've only got one thing in common now. Recovering that evening, so let's get on with it.
All right.
You hear something?
Here we go. Yep, there. Easy. Here now.
Gary, come here.
Here's what spooked.
Well, they're not going to be hard then, I guess.
Come on, let's have another go at it.
What if the eland acts up again?
That's a chance we'll have to take.
Keep your weight on that gate. Have to keep it firmly shut until I have him collared, or he'll be off and running. Right now. Easy.
Spooked again.
That's not those cats. And what?
Yeah. What?
Here now. Quiet now. Right, here we go. Right. Easy.
Hello, partner. Just put it down nice and gentle. And what are you doing out here?
Just visiting.
Yeah? Who?
Derek, I don't think our partner trusts us.
Well, it's mutual now, isn't it?
Very.
All right, Hilliard, I want the full story. I don't use a gun unless necessary. What are you up to? I'm telling you, you're going to make it necessary.
That was quite like old times, wasn't it, Brown? If we'd had the police in, we'd have missed all the fun, wouldn't we?
Thank you.
What on earth for?
If we'd had the police in, I would have missed my second chance.
Ah, true enough. Congratulations. Our eland went that way.
Yes, that Pride of Lions is that way.
Yes, I believe it is. Well, let's get on with it.
What do we do about those two?
Oh, we let the police collect them. On foot.
Sinclair to Ranch. Come in, Commander. Guess we're not in range yet.
Beginning of the new Hayes-Sinclair line?
Yes, I'd say so. And so does he.
Sinclair Hayes. Come in, Commander.
Hey, Sinclair, I read you, Jim.
We're on our way in. What's new?
Plenty. And front page caliber.
Such as?
I hope you boys are sufficiently rested up to ride out to some roping.
What goes?
Our search is over. The king has his queen.
You mean you spotted her?
No, he did.
Fine, we'll be right there. Over and out.
Out.